most of us know her on LinkedIn as Atasie Omah, right? And she's a product designer based in Lagos, Nigeria, who loves to create cross-platform digital products. And she's been designing professionally for 3 years, working both as a freelancer and as an employee for various companies. Hmm. She's also worked with startups to create functional solutions for users, and she has a background in graphic design and a Bachelor of Degree in Computer Science from Imo State University. She currently works in the fintech space and Web3 sector, where she's looking to make an impact on millions of lives with her work. Yeah, hello, TC. How are you doing today? Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up? I hope all the things I read about you is actually about you, right?
Yeah, I guess except for the name pronunciation,
Ah,
really
sorry. So,
give me
so,
the N word.
so, so tell us, like, pronounce your name very well for us now. Let's
It's
hear
Atasie, Atasie.
Atasie. Oh, that's nice. Atasie, Atasie Omah Lee. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, let me get to the next speaker. So, yeah, Omolola is a product designer who prides herself in delivering custom-centric experiences and improving success metrics on digital product. She's a user-focused product designer who is passionate with developing products that help address customer problems and utilize business requirements. She's also an interactive and informative designer who is motivated to solve problems with design and she's also in the business of building engaging products with the intention of solving user needs and improving processes of customer experience while also positively impacting company growth. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Omolola. Hi, Omolola. Hello. Where you at?
Hi, hello. How you doing? Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, hope you're good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Um,
so
yeah,
yeah, I hope everything we read about you is you. Because sometimes given this
yeah,
profile,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, definitely. So I want to put you. I'll start with Tasty Omar, right? Mhm. I'll still get to. I'll put together on the spot very well. I'll start with Tasty. So Tasty, what has it been like for you in design? How did you get into design? How did you stumble into product design? Was it a mistake, or they were saying that there's money in design, or like there's a lot of money, and maybe you've been seeing fancy workspaces, and you're like, okay, I think this is for me. Don't lie, that's the truth too, right? I think this is for me. How did you get into design?
Well, I would say it was a mistake or coincidence, not really a mistake because I don't regret. Okay, yeah, so it was during my days in school. I was in a computer science department, so I had a lot of people carrying laptop around. What did I do? But yeah, I just wanted to do something on my laptop, the computer science student that I am or that I was. So I found this guy, okay, he was into Photoshop, he did cool stuff, and then I picked interest. I brought my laptop, I learned, and then I was ready to start selling myself, marketing myself. And someone posted in the group chat, I'm looking for a UI UX designer. I was like, what's UI UX? I'm a designer, right? So I went to his DM. Hey, I'm a designer. I do this. He said he's looking for UI UX specifically, right? That was when I like started researching about what UI UX is about because it's not really as popular as graphic design, or it wasn't as popular as graphic design, especially in my school. So somehow he introduced me to someone who taught me how to use Figma, particularly not even UI UX, taught me how to use Figma to do basic stuff.
Let's move things around.
And yeah, just here and there, bits and pieces that are not complete. But yeah, that was like how I got started on it. So on my own, I just like started learning about it, what I could do with it, and
Mm, that's
areas
nice.
in it, and that was it.
So, in design, how were you? Did you attend a design school, or how were you able to, improve your skills when it comes to like design from that point, right? Did you, was there a mentor somewhere that that you did, or you took a particular course, or you? What happened? Like, what was it like?
Well, it really wasn't the case for me. I'm more like a self-taught designer, right? Because all
Mm,
I can say that really worked for me was consistency. I used to practice like I wouldn't even know what I'm designing, but I'm designing like every day I'm on my laptop. So it was just me trying to learn different things by myself. I find a new term, I Google it, I find out how
mm,
to do it and stuff like that. So it's more like a personal something. I really didn't attend any design school or take any courses, though I am really looking to take courses sometime this year or next year. But yeah, so far I've come this far by consistent practice. I didn't take
consistent.
any courses. Yeah,
Okay, consistency is, it's a really hard thing to be consistent, especially in this Nigeria where everyone just wants to frustrate you. Right.
right. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Omolola. Omo F. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, hi there, I'm doing good.
Okay, it's good to see you. Everybody's all smile. So yeah, how did you get into design? I think it's a question I'll ask you too, even though I will not be asking you questions I've asked. So soon shock you. So how did you stumble into design, like product design? How come? When did you know it was for you, that this design thing is for me?
Mm, Okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah, so this question is kind of tricky. Yeah, so in the sense that, though I've been doing tech right from school as well, that was 200 level. But what I do majorly there was
Um,
just
yeah.
trying to make events and also facilitate events as well. So what I did basically then was just more front end, just coding basic stuff, which is HTML and CSS. Then I was also playing around this factorial, which is just meant for this effect and snapshots or whatnot. Yeah, so sorry, someone saying something.
Just go on, please.
Yeah, okay. So after that, so I got to discover that there is more that I needed to do, right? Yes, I also studied computer science. So what we did just then is just for us to be able to just do more anchoring of events, just put people through. Well, what I just know there was just that, okay, I know I'm into tech, but I've not even like put deep into what tech is all about, right? So I got to discover that I could never do much. I'm trying to balance my school, my tech career and whatnot. So after school, so I was like jump into front end basically. So I was doing more front end. I don't even know what product
How?
design is all about. Yeah,
Okay.
so I had to like do that and also more graphic. I'm a graphic designer then as well. So I was doing this front end development. So I think on the blessed day, I was supposed to like code a particular design, right? So I got the design from a pro designer. So I was like, oh wow, what's this all about? So I kind of drive this interest into what that design is all about. So I got to like have a conversation with that particular designer. So after that, I got to discover, okay, I think I have more interest in this, better to front end development because I kind of like this idea of me trying to like solve problems. So I got to that, okay, I think I prefer to do product design, instead of content. So I had to like transition from content to product design. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Okay, nice. You have to transition from front end to product design. Why is it these days now? I'm seeing a lot of people coming from front end to product design. Is it that front end is too hard, or you're running away? Are they running away front end? Because I was asking somebody on the space, I was like, are you a runaway front end engineer? Like, are product designers now front end engineer product engineers that couldn't succeed or something like that? Because I'm seeing a lot of front end guys coming back to design, right? So what's up? Like, what's going? Is front end too hard or something?
To me, I won't say front end is hard for me because I just started to React yesterday. But I was like, okay, I wanted to like, combine front end and product design together. But I got to that, okay, no, I can't do this. I have to like leave one for one. So I kind of drive this
Mm.
interest in product design at front end. In fact, as I think as at June or May, I still code. Yes, I was just trying to like, just see if I still know this thing. I was able to like code a particular design, which is though it's just zero section I did, right? So it's just some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's not if I just left something, try to just add. No, that's not the I just
Okay.
decided that I had to like live one for one.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right, Tacy, what's up? You still here?
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, yeah. Sure.
Okay, so like, how did you get your first job? Like, was it hard for you to get your first design role? Who gave you that opportunity? And how long did it take you to get that first role? All right, I saw. Okay, let's start with the first role first.
Okay, so like my first paid gig or my first unpaid gig. They're different.
Voila. So, tell me the paid and the unpaid ones.
Well, the unpaid one was just me trying to build stuff with my friend, right? I mean, I knew I was a designer. I was practicing and practicing, but of course, I didn't have an experience, and my friend came with his idea. We are doing something, and along the way we dropped. So my first paid gig was from Twitter, really.
Nice.
So it was one of those days I was just putting my work out there, and then, hey, could you do this for me? Could you do that? That was it. I think, yeah, from Twitter.
Okay. That's nice. So, how long did you take you to get your first paid gig? Right.
So I started out in 2018, right? I'm okay. In 2018, I was just like a graphic designer, and then I transitioned. I started learning product design at that time. So at in 2019 or late 2019, mid or late 2019, yeah, that was when I got my first paid gig. And I think it was just like 1 year later or almost a year later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Almost a year later, you got your first gig. Wow, that's some level of consistency. Right? Were there moments that you cried?
Yes,
Or
night. It's took time now. It took time now. Some people will come out and be like, 4 months later, I got my first gig. 6 months later, I got my first. You hear stories like that. So of course, I felt sad at some point. At most times, I felt sad. I was just thinking maybe I'm not doing this right. But what actually kept me going is, I mean, I checked what I did a few months ago and what I'm doing now. It's not the same thing. Like there's been an improvement, right? So I just like kept going. And then I had this friend then. He's like a senior designer, or he's not really senior. He was like mid-level, and he kept encouraging me. Okay, you're making progress. It's only a matter of time before get your first gig, blah blah blah. But I really felt low many times because it took
Mhm.
time for me. I think it took time. I mean, practicing and practicing,
Let me play sad
but
music.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, took time. So, if anybody's listening, sometimes there could be challenging moments when it comes to your product design career, right? And sometimes it doesn't just come really well. There's a product designer, like at this like almost after like 16 months, she got her first official product design job, and it came on a very big, platter, like very very big money for her.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, like a lot of money actually. So Omolola, yeah. So what is it like your work experience? Like, have you worked with toxic, like, and I'm switching out to the workplace now. Like, what is your worst employer, worst client that you have worked with before? Like, they gave you wahala and they gave you problem. So can you tell me about that experience? Or you've never had the experience before? Don't come and lie for me, oh. Tell me the truth.
Yeah, so yeah, so there's a reason I'm laughing, right? And I'm sure Anna yourself also knows the reason I'm laughing. Right? So
I'm not like
yeah,
I
I've
don't
been
know the
that
reason.
yeah, so I've been in that toxic place before. Trust me, I don't even wish my enemy would be there. Right. So
Mm, word.
like really in fact I don't even know where to start from, but I'll just share a little about the
Testimony
whole
time.
thing. Yeah, so there's a difference between August can start to design and users can start to design, right? So
Mm.
yeah, so this particular company I work with, it was very, very difficult for me to deal with, right? Like it's got to a state that I had to like I lose it. I'm like to like I really lost it. Like it was even becoming something that could never cope with, right? So you just imagine yourself that you are trying to build a better product for this particular company, not even for the company really, but for the
Oh God.
users, right? And we still have this idea that okay, both the user and the business, they both generate the ROI, right, of a particular company. I got to say that okay, I think my effort is not enough for this particular company. But everything I got to do, you just imagine you trying to design for this particular company. Maybe during the midnight or night, the CEO already changed the designs. Like really,
In the
okay, fine. I
product.
really don't even have issues with that. But in as much as
Well,
I'm
me,
trying
I
to
have
create
issues with.
something, yeah. So in as much as I'm trying to create something more usable for people to use, why is it that maybe for about 2 days or perhaps just imagine 4 months you are designing a particular screen, like there is no progress really. So you just imagine you're trying to like design a particular mobile screen for maybe 2 months or even more than. Right? It doesn't make any sense. And there is no even point. Everything we're just trying to design there was just purely UI. There is no knowledge of UX. There is nothing, even the old product. If I am to use that product, trust me, it doesn't make any sense, right? So it's not even findable, it's not usable, it's not reputable to even use at all. So there is no
Do they
point.
have money?
Um, what did you say?
Do they have money? Like
They
saying
are,
the product was not usable. Actually, users using the product, like users are actually finding their way around it, right?
yeah, they were even finding their way around it. So no part of our skill as a designer is I try to like even go to Play Store and App Store to check some of this users feedback. We had a whole lot of pain points, frustration from users. These are what you're supposed to focus on. So you just imagine the CEO telling you that there is like this doesn't even concern him. Just because he wants to do this, just because this is what he has in his hand, he needed to do that. So yeah, so it's not even a place to be like really. So it was very, very tragic. And trust
So
me, I
so
don't even remember my parents there.
you will not want to recommend it to another designer that is willing to take a
Not even my
risk, right?
not even my
Or
enemy, like
more.
I said. Because it's a whole lot
Wow. So
because I can't even share everything.
okay, one of these days we would open Twitter space. Twitter is for this kind
I'm
of
sure you even
conversation.
want
Okay, let's
to.
and drag toxic employers. Let's get to Tacy, right? Tacy, for you, have you worked on sites before? And is I don't know if you're are you in Lagos or something?
Yeah,
Okay,
in
cool. So
Lagos.
have you worked like physical role, like an on-site role before? And then how was it for you, like if you don't work on site?
Nah, I haven't. I mean,
Okay,
I've had to like reject opportunities because I have to like commute to the office every morning. I have
okay. So you don't like so let's say a role now is uh okay, let's say a role pays okay, what is good for senior let's say a role pays like times three. Okay, let's use times three of your current earnings. Three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let me use three. And it's on site. Would you still do that?
well, I have to think about it. I mean,
Okay.
if it's hybrid, I can manage, but otherwise, I don't think really. It's
Okay. You
looking
like
to
home,
see,
like being close to your kitchen, so you can just enter and just pick up something and stuff like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So have you when it comes to like work, right? Your work experience and stuff like that. Have you experienced have you experienced I know you've not worked on site, but have you experienced things like harassment in the workplace? Like maybe your PM was trying to toast you or something like that, and the guy was trying to get back, or maybe one designer that like she was kind of, trying to ask you out or something. Have you experienced something like that? You say you're smiling, I know you've experienced it. So tell me about it.
Oh, no, I haven't actually. I mean, I've had friends or colleagues I've worked with that say things that um about liking me and stuff, but I haven't really experienced
We are
anything in
too
that aspect.
focused to
I haven't.
because to consider any external distractions, right? So okay, okay, that's fine. That's calm. So Omolola, so I want to ask you this question. So, what was like the most challenging thing that you faced as a product designer? Like the most challenging experience? Maybe you're working on a project and it was so challenging. Maybe a project in the Web3 space or VR or whatever, or maybe fintech, right? What was the most challenging thing you faced as a designer? Is it like absence of resources or things like that? So,
Yeah, so this is a good question, right? Because it's actually brought me back to
I
when
don't
I
ask
was
that
still
question.
working for a particular startup. Yeah, so it's actually like a crypto company, like a Web3 company kind of. So I got to discover that there is a whole lot that's missing, right? And it's even like open my eye up understanding about startup and everything. So there's a time that this particular company they don't have PM, there was
Hmm.
like everything that has to do with resources. Really, it was really like tiring for me.
Zero.
I was on doing everything that has to do with product marketing, product management, product design, everything. Like it's a whole lot in my
Hmm.
head.
Hmm.
And that was my first time of taking up a Web3 project because I gave up an idea and I don't even do the script of the thing really. So I had to like do a lot of research, I had to read a lot of articles and everything. In fact, because of this particular company, I had to like start doing crypto just because I want to see how it works. I needed to like see okay, what is it you need to do right? What is it that these people are really doing wrong? So I had to like read a lot of policies online and everything. So but there is a particular mistake I did there. Yeah, so this was I think that was last year or 2020. I just jumped into the
Hmm.
wire. I just jumped Sigma after after we do some articles. But I got to discover that I'm actually missing something here. In as much as probably we're given a project and we don't even conduct maybe research or what or whatever. This thing about research is key. Trust me. So I got to discover that okay, like we launched the first product, like the MVP. In fact, I won't lie to you, there is a whole lot of
Chaotic.
complaints, people using the products. And, wow,
I
like
don't go complete.
I was not even happy with it. Yeah, I was not happy, but then I got to realize that okay, there is more we needed to do. I got to do deep research, I had to do in fact a whole lot of research. And it's really paid me to do more research to do it. Right? So I had to like conduce about 1 month to do the research before coming into UI. Now, and unfortunately, we tried to like launch another product, which is from the second one, and it was really amazing. Though there was still like a whole lot of back and forth. No, not even a whole lot. Like there's a lot of back and forth on that particular one. But then I'm really happy that we literally stayed true. And fine, we also keep iterating, and iteration is key. We don't stop designing, even in like multi, we try to launch that particular. Yes, that's
Okay, thank you so much. So how like from the time you designed that particular product to development, right? How did you like how long did you think it took, that phase?
sorry, can you come again? I don't get the
Like from
question.
design to develop, from the time you handed off that designs to the developers, like how long did it take for it to push live, like for it to
Oh,
go
okay,
live?
yeah. So okay, so like I said, it was a startup, and one of the biggest mistakes we also made then was because I was trying to design, they were also trying to implement. In fact, we never even conducted it. That's the way we test. We never tested the product because they were all on my neck. Okay, push this, do this. No, you're trying to work on
Oh,
that pressure. Not good. Really, like it's not good.
mm,
So I had to just like
fast-paced
do
environment.
everything I could exactly. Like I had to just do everything I could just for them to implement and launch the product. So yeah, that was it.
Okay, thank you so much,
So it took
Omolola.
about 1 month. So
Okay, that's okay. That's nice. Casey, um, yeah, how did you feel when your first product that you worked on went live? What was the feeling like? seeing your design in Figma go to implementation, and how did you deal with, and have you experienced like a goosey developers, like you turned your design to something else? So have you experienced that kind of, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, so the first product that went live was in 2020. It was really exciting. I mean, I was literally looking at it because it was more like pixel perfect. I mean, the developers really finished work, right? It was subsequently that I encountered developers that were doing nonsense with my work. But the first one was really, really, really like, I mean, I literally had to like show everyone in my house, show my mom. I designed this app. Yeah, it's live. Like it was really exciting. I mean, the excitement is always there, especially for the first time, right? And yeah, I've had experiences with developers. Gosh, even the one I'm working with right now.
And you get time. Is he a senior
I'm
developer?
always in his DM. Hey guys, we need to fix this. Alignment, typography, like I don't. He's
That's not the
actually not junior. He's actually not junior. But you know, when a developer is not paying attention to details, the way
details.
designers do, right? He sees something and probably mistakes it for something else, or thinks he can just replace it with something similar. I don't know if you've like experienced that before. Let's
Mm,
say a date picker, they probably have a date picker component.
from their
They,
own, yeah,
they don't
library.
use they don't use the designer's date
Wonder
picker
design.
because they have
Mhm.
to, yes, and now they
Did it
they
again.
go and bring their own. So
Mhm.
they end up mixing the design because they're not really paying attention to details and they're trying to make the work easier for themselves, right?
Normal
But yeah,
demand.
really, but I've had experiences with that. I mean, it brings about too many iterations. You find yourself doing the same thing over and over. You're having
Mm,
meetings. You have to fix this. It's not really a nice experience. And for okay, I've worked as an employee and as a freelancer. When you're a freelancer, it's usually harder because once you hand off and the client doesn't really pay for development support, whatever the developer does with the design is not your business again. You get, and you can't really go back and start
me?
iterating and everything. And when the product launches, you can't add it to your portfolio. You can't be proud of it. It's heartbreaking, right?
Mm.
Except it's
Um,
with the company that you work, then you can work with the developers to make it better.
okay. Thank you for that. Personally, like it's freelancing for me, I help them to, I take retainer contracts, and that's where my agency comes in. So if you have a problem with developers, right, don't worry, I'll help you build it. In fact, I recommend it so I don't leave money off the table. I have guys and we've done stuff before. So just push it to Micrographia. We will develop it for you to avoid egusi and all those. And it's sometimes very annoying. Like seeing your designs, like, I mean, are you not seeing guy? Right. So okay, that's not about
All
that.
right.
So let me to you, Omolola. So from when you started design, like when you started designing back then and now, what would you think has changed, when it comes to design? Like what would you think has changed? This maybe these days right now, there's a lot of noise about design, 23x, 19x, and all this kind of stuff. And then, back then when we were designing, everybody just wanted to learn design for the love of
Correct.
it.
Correct.
We just wanted to, and then right now there's too much, Web3, and everybody's like, okay. And there's a lot. So what do you think has really changed? And do you think that juniors are finding it easier now to come into the design space? Right? They're finding it easier to, navigate the space compared to, before.
Yeah, so this particular question, right, I would say yes. Right, and the reason is because there was a time we were literally having a conversation with some of my colleagues who were doing blockchain or everything. But there is one thing I would just say, right, which is the fact that they should just try to ignore the noise, right? They should just ignore the noise. Because there is one thing about you trying to follow the crowd and you following your own path, like you really want to do this, right? So there was a particular junior designer that actually came to me and be like, okay, you want to do this, I want to do Web3 because So the person actually mentioned, is it Jude? Yeah, Jude. I was like, okay, I think Jude is doing this, and I think I really have interest. I think that is a good reason. So there's another one that also mentioned the one, AL and BL designer. So the other one that also mentioned AL and BL, I said, okay,
By
I don't think I want
influencers.
to do this. But because people that really literally need VL designer, they're not much. And I think there is money in it. I need to do this. Right. So people are doing. So rather, I just have to like give the person the list of skills, the list of roles on that division. Okay, I think you can literally learn the. We also have likes of UX writing, VR designer, blockchain, and everything. Just go and learn more. Just look at it and okay, do you think you really have interest in all of this? But you can just choose a part and just learn about it. So I think that's it. And one more thing that I would just say is that don't follow me. And always follow whatever. Okay, this is what I really need to do. Just follow it.
Okay, thank you, Omolola. So, Tacy, right? You've seen in the design space, a lot of people, posting about their growth and okay, I make this money per month. When it comes to design, I make $15,000. I make $20,000. I make so and so dollars. Right? When it comes to design, and a lot of people post fancy workspace and all of that. Do you think it's something that has created a kind of facade, especially for juniors trying to get into the space, right? Has it created a facade, or has it created people just say that okay, people are just really pursuing the money, they're not after the substance, but they're just after, like Moza said, after the noise and things like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are getting into the design space of recent are getting into it for the money, right? Because your friend tells you, I get like $5,000 a month, and you're like, damn, what you do? And then you see them pick up Figma, start going through courses and everything. But when you try first month, second month, maybe say 6 months, nothing is coming in. 7 months,
Five
8 months,
naira.
nothing is coming in. You will calm down again because it's usually not as easy as people like make it look like, right? I mean, if you're getting like a lot of money in your design space, and you have to like also let people know the kind of work that you put in to get there, because it's all about what you can do. It's all about the quality of your work, right? So if you're into the design space, let's say, of course, there is money in it, especially when you join an international organization paying you in dollars, right? But you have to actually be more focused on the learning part, because once you brush your skills, like the money will not be the problem, or getting the job will not be the problem, right? I mean, you just need to, I mean, you just need to be more focused on leveling up, right? I mean, if it's just the normal, I designed this screen today, let me know what you think. I mean, it's going to be hard for you, especially when you don't have a network of people. Because I believe it was harder for me. First of all, I didn't really have mentors that I could, always, or the network. Because some people who are starting out already have the network, and maybe after
Mm,
6 months, someone
yeah,
connects them to a job. It's not
no time.
always like that for everybody. I mean, some people have their experiences differently, right? So it's just up to you to like be more focused on leveling up. You have to like put in the work, like uh you have to
Okay,
deliver.
you have to deliver, right? Go Kada. So yeah, I want to ask you a question. So has there been any time, as a product designer, that you were doing like two jobs at the moment, three jobs, full-time jobs? And yeah, if you're doing like that, tell me how it was for you. Because a lot of designers these days, I don't know why you guys, a lot of designers do like two full-time jobs, three full-time jobs, and maybe handle like
Both.
yeah, side gigs at the same time. So tell me what it is like, and did it affect your mental health, things like that?
Well, the thing is, it wasn't really about my mental health, because it took a toll on me, right? I was stressed out and everything. But seeing the kind of money I was getting, I was motivated, right? But I was fired from the job for under delivering.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're juggling between, because I was doing like 4,
Ah,
I was on Upwork. Okay, that's a different story for another day. But
wait, how many full time? For just how many full time?
well, one is full time, the other one is like somehow full time. But I don't know how to
That's
explain
is
it.
full
But
time,
it's,
but
it's not
somehow
like full time, full time. Yes,
but it's somehow full time. I get.
part
That's
time,
not.
full time.
Like, and the third one is how many? The third one is also full time. Full time. I hate full time jobs.
Then the other one was like a contract and another contract. And for
I
all
didn't
these,
have interns. Did you have interns that you work with, or it was just you moving? You wanted to collect all the money.
don't really, the people that I'm trying to like help level up and everything are like, it's like recently since late this year, and they're like still really beginning and everything. I don't really have people I can push work to. Although I don't feel comfortable pushing work to someone else because I don't know, their output might not be the same output I would have, and at the end of the day, you might find
You have to
yourself
spend the same time.
editing, and you spend the
Mm,
same time doing the same stuff. So I haven't really tried that, but I just think I don't really recommend it. Maybe till I try it. But yeah, it actually took a toll on me because I was fired from one job. I mean, I wasn't delivering quality work. If you're doing different things at different times, you find yourself doing 2 hours here, 3 hours here, 4 hours here. Like you don't really get to spend more time, immerse yourself in the work, and
mm,
produce quality output, right? So
mm.
why I don't recommend it is that if you want to do good work, if you want to like take your time and work, right, doing multiple jobs would counter that. I mean, you can't do that if you're doing multiple jobs, right? You get. So unless you don't want to be sleeping in the night, then you can do that. But yeah, you just have to focus on. I don't recommend it. Even if you want to do multiple, at least two. Two.
Full time.
If you can do three, but I don't recommend it because you don't produce quality output. I mean, you just find yourself. I just want to get the job done. I mean, I just want to do this. I just want you find yourself not really like immersing yourself in the work and everything. But yeah, it affects your output a lot. It does.
Okay. Thank you so much, Stacy, for giving us that experience. Omolola, so when it comes to the design space, like maybe when you were starting out till now, were there designers that you looked up to? Did you have like mentors that okay, you could always reach out to and say, hey, what's up? Can you help me check out this screen? And you just badge into the person's DM. Hey, I did this screen and stuff like, can you help me review or stuff like that? And also now, do you have like designers that you look up say, I want to be like this designer, I want to be like this guy, right? I want to make stuff that like, the way this guy is making it, right? So if you have someone like that.
Um, yeah, so okay. So regarding this, right? So fine, I think that was 2020 or early 2021. I think I was good at UI at some point, right? But when it comes to UX, I know I needed to do more. Like I know I needed to like upgrade my UX skills. Right? Got so good on I think in a particular day on LinkedIn, I got to see like there are two, right? So though it was not consecutively. One, I think the courses of this score. Yeah, Moi. That guy is very, very humble. So there was a time I actually made this thing that hopes I think I
Money or
needed to connect more to this guy. And yeah, he's a UX designer, right? So I know that okay, I think me moving to this guy, now I'm going to gain a whole lot from him. And trust me, it
Mhm.
was the best decision I made last year. Because I literally see more as should I say a
When you're
mentor
senior,
then. That okay, when it comes to US, if I have any issue, let me go to him. Then, from mentor to being a friend, it was really, really an amazing thing for me.
how
Then
we
the other
started,
one
but
was, what did you say?
I said you said from mentor to being a friend. Like so I'm saying how it started was how it's going now. So we might never know.
Exactly. So, and the other guy also is an Indian guy. There is this, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. This Indian designers, they're extremely good when it comes to UX, right? So we posted a particular, I think, isn't like an article on LinkedIn. I was like, who did? I had to chat him up. That was last year. That okay, I would love to connect with you. And got so good. We literally have like a design school, not even like a design school. Like usually train people like every weekend for them to join. So I was like, okay, push it to him that I'm interested in this, and I got to like okay join. And though it was last year December, we could not yet from his LinkedIn, his number, none of it was even going through. So it really saddens my heart that okay, because this guy I've literally like learned a whole lot from him as well. So one thing I would say is that it's always good to network with people, right? Don't be shy and don't be afraid to ask questions. Right? Even people that know that okay, these people are little, okay, these people they know better than we do. Connect with them and just learn more from them. It was the best decision I made last year, even to now. Trust me. So,
Mm. All right, connecting with Moy was the best decision that you made. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so for you, Tracy, right? What do you think about applying for jobs? Like maybe your experience when it comes to applying for jobs. Were you always like served breakfast? You know, like was it like Moyi said one time that he applied for 111 jobs, and then before he got his role at Booking, in England, like did 111 interviews, not 111 jobs, interviews. Right? Did you have like an experience like that, or it was just very easy for you to just get design, or just maybe your network? Now you have network, now you don't need to apply for job. People at once sending you DMs, right? So tell us what it is like, and especially focus on the breakfast part, like rejection mails, if you have any, or if you do. Some people don't get rejection mails now because they don't apply, right? So yeah.
Well, I was not served just any kind of breakfast. I've been served premium breakfast in many occasions, right?
Okay.
And the networking thing is not. I know as designers we have to network and everything, but everybody has their personality. Despite trying to break out and network, I wasn't
Mm,
really the kind of person to network. I tried to, of course, but I'm just trying to say I didn't really have a lot of people in my network and all that, right? I mean,
mm,
even up till now, it's just like three persons. So the networking thing hasn't really worked for me, except for a few clients that I've worked with, and then they like refer you, and that's it. But yeah, the job application process is like it's very daunting, right? I've applied. How do I explain it? I've received rejections back from like I've received rejection, and then over the course of time I noticed that most of the projects that I've done, most of the jobs that I have, even the last full time that I just finished, it was from people reaching out to me, right? I've worked with like a lot of clients outside Nigeria. It was mostly from people reaching out to me than jobs
not
that I
you
applied
trying
for.
to
So
apply.
it was somehow, I don't know if it was luck or something, but from Behance, from different platforms, right? I've had to like do contracts from people reaching out. So job application has not really been favorable. Like the few times I applied, it was just rejection, rejection. Then I stopped. Like,
Back to
like
back.
I mean, you will be discouraged. Like I was so discouraged, I stopped. Like, what's all this now? I'm just doing the one I'm doing. But yeah, you don't really have to stop. I mean, I learned from people who like are already doing good jobs at internet, having global roles and everything. They had like various interviews and like they had many interviews, many rejections before they landed their first role. So right, I've not been applying, but I recently started applying again because
Mm.
I'm tired of this induced life. Right, I started applying again,
This
and
is you did last year, dog sakwa.
I started applying again, and I'm just like trying to keep at it. I've had a few interviews. I even applying to Top Tile and the rest of it, like putting my eggs in different baskets,
What
right?
different basket? Anyone?
Honestly, because it has not been favorable. But confident that this time is going to be favorable, right? So yeah, I've had different interviews, and you just have to like keep at it, and I'm sure you arrive at something. I mean, you can't apply forever without getting any of this thing out, unless you probably have to go back and reevaluate, check what you're
Mm,
not doing right, check what is missing, where the problem could be, and everything. But yeah, once you don't give up, it's very discouraging, but normal. I'm now used to it. Once you don't give up and just keep at it, and you don't just relax on the applying. Of course, you're still trying to work on yourself, you're still trying to level up, right? You definitely learn something.
okay.
Definitely.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, AC. Yeah, Omolola, when it comes to applying for jobs, like, for many people, many recruiters, they talk about your portfolio. Some people like, talk about your resume, right? Okay, your resume first before your portfolio, right? So which do you think is more important? And also, secondly, like, I noticed a lot of designers take time to build their portfolio. Like, when you design, like, you want to design your portfolio and then it's taking 1 year. You're just procrastinating and procrastinating and, procrastinating like that. You feel like, okay, I'll work on it. Like, personally now, like, I was working on my portfolio alongside some other designers, like younger designers that, and then as you're working on it, I got projects. So like, okay, I'm going to work on it the next time. Another project came, work on it. Another, Benny, if I can get job without portfolio, then why do I need a portfolio? Right, that kind of thing. So, what do you think about jobs and portfolio, and which do you think is more important, especially when you're applying for jobs, your resume first or your portfolio?
Okay, so for this, I would say both is important actually, right? So, and it differs. I would like to you because just imagine you're trying to like just shoot a shot on LinkedIn, right? Like, okay, hi, my name is Fele. So you are trying to, you're looking for a design, and there's a link to my portfolio. It's kind of straight, right? Then this is how it works. To me personally, right? Your CV has to entail your portfolio link, right? Then also when it comes to your portfolio link, there should also be a link for your CV for them to download. Do you understand? So this is important. I would say both are very, very important because both also works, right? Then when it comes to this portfolio of it, I would say maybe probably on a book thing, right? Of you know, I keep procrastinating. I'm currently updating my portfolio at the moment. But I think for about 3 days now, I've not been able to go update my just take a break and just rest, right? But one thing I'll just say is that even if it's just one project that you know that okay, if you include this in your portfolio, I think it means a lot, right? So just imagine trying to have a particular project that it looks as if you have about 10 projects in your portfolio. Do you understand? And even if probably they have a project, probably they already even launch the project or not, just try to get okay, just put something in your portfolio for them to see, right? Or probably you have like project status that says probably under development or something. You get. But if you ask me, I'll say both
You
are
like,
very, very important. So, yeah, so I can either send my CV to you, put that okay, this is a link to my CV. From there, they get to the link to my portfolio. Or even if it's just my portfolio and sent to them, they get to the link to my CV for them to download. Yeah.
okay, thank you so much. Before we get into asking people on the call questions, so Tacy, right, do you think people lie a lot in design Twitter? Like, do you think there's a lot of lies? Are people just a lie? See, and like, do you think there's a lot of noise? Like, people are just making noise. Like, guys, just shut up. Like, or so do you think there's a lot of noise and people just they lie about their work experience, about their work history, and how much they earn and stuff like that? Do you think people are just lying?
I really,
Violence.
I really, I really don't know about this, but I know that when I know that when someone maybe says something about your job, and some people just try to be feel among, like, I mean, I'm not really the newbie you think I am. I'm making this much money. Just a lot of people on design Twitter just want to feel among, like, but I can't really point out the lie part because I've not really investigated. I don't even have time to start looking at anybody's or studying anybody. But yeah, I think some people lie, but yeah, it's just like to feel among and people making up their experiences on their profile. Yeah, I think I've seen something like that before. It's someone that clearly you know they started this time, but then you check the other thing, you now find 2018, but clearly you know it was 2020. Of course, I just mind my business, but I think people do it to probably extend their experience a bit to land roles, land
Better.
offers, and everything. Yeah. But the noise part, the actual noise and lying part, I don't really know about that. Really.
See, you're trying to be careful here. You're trying to-
You know, I don't, I don't want to accuse anybody.
I see you're trying to be careful here. Okay, let's take questions on the call. Like if you want to, I would have loved to, put you guys on the spot more and get you to say some things, right?
Already for you, don't worry.
Okay, okay. Which designer do you think you don't like? You don't like this guy? Like it's just saying a lot. Which designer is that? Like maybe you feel like, oh, this guy is not as good as what he claims to be.
On Twitter,
He- I mean, anywhere. You don't have to mention names.
why have to mention names?
Okay, no, no need. There's no need of mentioning names. I want to.
Uh,
There's- okay, let me leave it. Let me put you out of this world. There's no need to mention that. But there are designs like that in your mind, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I get it. So yeah, let's take questions on the call. Like if so guys, if you have questions for Omolola and Atasie, you can ask questions about their design journey if they are single and available, right? And other kind of questions that you want to ask them. Yeah. So yeah, they'll be ready to hear from you guys. Yeah, please just raise up your hands. Use the hand icon that Google has provided for accessibility, right? Raise it up, and so I can call you to ask them questions in the order that I'm seeing here, that I'll see here on my screen. So I'll just give us like 2-3 minutes to ask questions. So guys, ask your questions though, so that you don't enter their DM and start stopping there. These people are busy people now. Time no day. Okay, nobody's raising up their hands. Okay, I'm seeing 2 people. I'm seeing Rhoda and I'm seeing Ibuka. So Rhoda, please ask your question.
Okay. Hi everyone. Once again, thank you, Tacy and Omolola. I think Tracy mentioned that she has a. Oh, sorry, Tracy, you mentioned you have the background in graphics design, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think my question will go to Omolola. I actually want to relate to somebody that didn't have any background in design at all, and yeah, Omolola. You that person? Sorry.
Yeah, so actually
Was
I've
product design was product design like your first intro like to design?
no. So I'm on a graphic design first if I transition to product
Oh,
design. But
oh,
sure,
okay.
just
Because actually,
uh,
okay, because I
Yeah.
do not have a background in graphics design, and like UI UX is like my first intro. So sometimes it just gets so hard. Like I just feel like my designs are not good enough. I don't know. And then like most people that I see, they always say, oh, they started off with graphics design, this everybody design. So what do you think I can do to get better? I've been trying stuff, but I don't know. What do you think I can do to get better?
okay, so yeah, so people do ask this question that okay, if I'm not even graphic design, I can't do UX design, I can't do product design. No, trust me, because they're not even related, right? Graphics is not UX, UX is not graphics, right? But one thing I'll just say is that learn by practice, not observation, right? What I mean that okay, probably you're trying to like watch, okay, so you could just watch some videos on YouTube, you trying to read articles online, or probably even network with people, right? But if they're not trying to practice, trust me, you might not even know it. right? So what I'll just say is that you just keep practicing. See, your design today is going to be different from the design you're going to have tomorrow, right? And one more thing, always have a mentor you always get back to. Probably you design something today, give it to your mentor that, okay, please help me, can you check this, right? And don't always feel like you're a pest to someone. Always disturb people. Okay, people are always ready to help you. But though, yeah, people are busy, right? But always ask questions when you do. Do you understand? You always watch videos. Don't feel like, okay, I'm not good enough. No. Trust me. See, we all started from somewhere. I don't know this, right? So we all started from somewhere. So always try to practice every day. And consistency is key, trust me. And I think that's also made much more that. We try to learn more.
Okay, thank you, Omolola. Yeah, so I used to see a lot of designers these days, junior designers posting their work, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like when I look back to my first design, like I mean, these guys are far better than like my first. You put my first design compared to their first design, like it's they are obviously better of like so. It's just like a matter of time. Just keep practicing and keep improving, and definitely you keep getting better. So yeah, Ebuka, what's up? Your question?
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good
So,
evening. Oh,
yeah, my
Ebuka.
question,
Oh,
yes.
sorry, Ebuka just rang in my head now, like big brother.
No, it's not me. Anyways, yeah, and my question is actually for both of them, right? So, the first one is I want to know how if you've worked with multiple designers on a particular project, how does it feel like? What are the pros and what are the cons? And is it something that you really like to do, or you prefer to just do it by yourself? That's my first question.
So, working with multiple designers can be both interesting and annoying, right? Especially if you both are not like in sync or like thinking really differently or diversely, which is like very normal, right? So yeah, I've had like a taste of both the good side and the bad side, right? So it's just you trying to communicate. You just have to like try to communicate better with the designer, right? So the first designer, it was just like a three designer project. I mean, we just had to like share it into share the pieces of the work, worked on this, you work on this, you work on that. And then it went like really well. Everybody did their tasks, we all came together, we reviewed this and everything. But a scenario where you're working with a designer, probably on the same screen, the same page and everything, you, some people have shared stories of a designer they're working with moving their work to like the side, and then they think it's not good enough. Probably they broke a few principles or something, and then you find them redoing the stuff and everything. It's like the annoying part of it, but you just have to like learn to adjust. Probably if it's the type of designer that move your work, maybe pay attention, see what they did, the improvements, if there's anything you can learn from it. But it can be annoying. You just need to like learn how to what's the word? Probably relax, try to communicate better. If it's someone that likes picking offense and everything, you might get offended, he or she might get offended, but you just have to like communicate better. Okay, I see you did this. What was the idea behind this? Is this how we're going with? And stuff like that. It's just not it's just about collaboration, communication. I know that some people can be crazy, but yeah, you just have to communicate better. So yeah, you can have I've had both the good and the bad, right? I don't even want to talk about how that one ended. I eventually left the project. But yeah, you just need to be able to communicate better, really. That's just about it for
Yeah,
me.
thank you very much. So I actually appreciate the communication comments, which is very, very necessary. My second question is, okay, so when you're applying for a job, as a product designer, right? I get like there are plenty websites, you can go and check for roles and stuff like that. But is there like a more strategic approach to doing it so that I don't know what would I call it? Is it like a hack or something? Is there a way like I can go about it to get a better chance at getting these jobs? Because I understand that obviously you need to have the skill, you need to have a portfolio and stuff like that. But I mean, if you get to like the interview aspect and stuff like that, are there certain things I should be able to answer? And
Okay, yeah. So one thing is you getting applying for a job. Another thing is you scaling the interview process, right? So the interview, I used to have should I say stage fright or something. I mean, I didn't used to be like bold enough to clearly tell you, okay, this is why I did this, this is why I did this. I mean, I was like, it all connects to me, not being able to network and everything. I was always that timid and everything. I mean, I'm trying not to connect with people. I'm trying not to communicate and everything. So I've had like going down the memory lane. I know that there are jobs I would have gotten if I had actually just boldly come and tell you I did this because of this, like clearly explaining my design rationales and like reasons for doing things and everything. So you just need to be confident. If you enter the interview like you're not confident, I don't know how I did this. You need to like own up to your process. Okay, I did this because of this, and then I went ahead to do this. Like it's about the confidence, which is like something that I didn't have initially. I mean, I recently like started building it as I met more clients and everything. But in interviews, so it wasn't always the case because some will invite you with five of the designers, 10 of the designers, and then they're looking at you and then you're doing this. And that confidence wasn't there. So it's one thing I always recommend, especially in the interview process, be bold. Like I did this, you explain your design rationale. So there's something that comes with this confidence that tells them that you really know your work, right? But if you're like really, well, I think it's because I think and all these biases and everything during your interview, you really stand a lesser chance, right? They want even if you don't know the work, because most of these people that are getting these jobs, if you go and compare your work to theirs, you might realize that you're better than them. That's just the
true.
truth. But
That's
because
very true.
they're bold enough to come out, hey, I did this. This is why I did this. And this is how it works. And you see them, they get their offer and move on, right? So one thing I always recommend is trying to be bold, right? Like building your confidence. And this confidence doesn't just come, right? I mean, before you build your confidence, you must have gotten to some level of knowledge or I don't know. If you think you don't know what you're doing, right? I'm just doing this, inshallah. Let's just mix up this design and submit. That confidence may not be there. But if you really like on your work, on your process and everything and defend it, you stand a better chance. I think the harder part is getting interviews at organizations that you want, because if I just like start applying for junior product designer, I may just I may be getting more interviews and everything. So I think the harder part is getting interviews at jobs that you want, like roles that you actually want, because if you find out there is competition, there is this and that. But yeah,
Yeah,
getting the interview is just about your confidence and your boldness, really.
I
I don't know
understand
if
that.
that answers the question though.
Yeah, it actually does. It actually does. Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
very much. Yeah.
thank you so much, Ebuka. So the final question we're taking today is from Emenalo Onyekachi Matia. So please ask your question as we plan to round off quickly.
Yeah, hello, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, get how to like get like how to how do you like how do you like get like how do you get job like for product design and for product design, like how do you start? How do you build what do you show? What do you show like what do you how do you show your works like recruiters like and I did this, I did that. How do you present your work to like them to to convince them that you can work for so company, and that's like, do you have to like do like 10 case studies, or do you have to like do like few screens or explain so stuff in details? Yeah. So, and how do you stand out from like other designers? How do you something that's different from everyone? Like, how do you do that? Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Omenalo. Yeah. So I think I literally said something about this case study of the thing, right? So see, one thing I always know personally, even some of my friends, that in as much as trying to apply for jobs, see, if we have just two case studies in the portfolio, like it's a whole lot. Like, see, recruiters never apply of checking 10 case studies, 16, 8, no, for what? If you have just two concrete case studies in the portfolio, trust me, it's a good thing, right? Then for you to be able to stand out as a designer, right? You just want this thing you need, which is always try to measure impact, right? Which is also regarding your success metrics, right? So what do I mean is that probably be able to like push out the product, probably on App Store or anywhere, I don't know. You might be able to like measure your, probably you want to measure the conversion rates or anything. So okay, let me give an instance. You have a product on App Store, right? You can be able to measure your metrics that through the apps download, right? So these are key things that recruiters need to see. See, don't let me lie to you. Most recruiters, they might not even look through everything you have, your research, understanding the problem and
Yeah,
apply.
exactly. Yeah, sure.
No. See, what they want to see is they literally just scroll down to the end of your case study if you have this impact, right? So if probably you don't have anything like impact or probably not be able to like they've not launched the product, right? You can be able to have this thing called you can be able to measure in this state with the product. You get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so these are what makes you stand out as a designer because see there are a lot of case study out there. We have okay, I empathize and divine I did. No, there's a whole lot to you writing a case study because these people wants to see how you be able to handle their project while you come in as a designer. Do you understand? So you having this key in your portfolio means a whole lot to them.
Yeah, okay. So I want to ask you, do we have like a community, like maybe a WhatsApp group or anything, where many users, designers can be or share ideas and all that? Any WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
Telegram group? If you have, can you drop it in the link, please, on the message?
Okay, so
Thank you. So some
I
people
don't
join.
know, so I'm part of the admin. So, but I'm happy to ask someone. And I think Anaya can also do that. You can also reach out to our team. I think he has this group where they share a lot of resources and all that. So he can just share that with you.
Who's person?
Okay, so
Yeah, I think he will.
Okay, thank you.
all right. I'm seeing one late hand here. There's a late hand on this place. Do I take this question? Do I take this hand? Do I take this?
Take.
Okay, I'll take it. Emmanuel, please ask your question. This is the final hand, take for this call. Anybody raising hand up? People are raising more hand. That's the problem about questions. I said Nigerians, when you tell them to ask questions, they would not ask questions until when other people are asking questions and they remember the questions that they should ask. So Emmanuel, please, let's have you.
Okay. Hello, Lola and Leslie. So the question I was for how do you get stakeholder management for research? So are you like trying to and
Emmanuel, we're struggling to hear you. We're struggling to hear you.
Oh,
Last
okay,
time.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
please go.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm asking. So how do you get stakeholder buy-in for research, for user research in itself? Like you're trying to get the stakeholder to take the route of doing research first before development. Well, most startups just want to deliver things fast and just work on that. But like even after telling them this research will actually pay much better, but they just want to go through the development side of article. So how do you go about that? Yeah.
If I got you correct, you're asking how to get stakeholders to sponsor research, or because your voice was breaking. Don't know.
Okay.
Okay, I'm asking for stakeholder buy-in. How do you get them to give the time and budget for research and itself?
Really, I don't really recall having to ask a stakeholder or a client to. Okay, are you saying in a company where you work, or with a
Okay,
client or something?
let me try to provide context. So what is access is like, for example, you're working on a freelance project and they already have, they're telling you, okay, this is what we want to build. We want to build this, we want to build. They already have like an idea of what they want to build, right? But you know, you as a UX designer, you want to, okay, let's do the normal design process. Let's start with research first, right? So how do you, you know, tell the stakeholder that, okay, because many stakeholders don't have budget for research,
Okay,
like
okay.
it's not part of their, they want to just do your design and get out or something like that, you know. So how do you convince them to buy into, okay, research, there's a budget for research, something like
Okay,
that,
so
you know.
so personally, I usually like add include it in the budget, right? I mean, if I'm going to create an invoice, you're going to see it boldly user research and just like breaking down the tax somewhat, right? So if a client, I mean, I usually charge for everything, but if a client doesn't see a need to have research, it could probably be that they have some research data, right? Because there are existing systems that provide analytics and everything of their user database and everything. And you just have to like try to make them see reasons. I mean, if they don't see a reason, just do what the client wants. But then on your end, you kind of like have to try to make them see reasons, like its importance, right? Like why they need it, because you would only invest in what you think is important, right? Personally, I believe charging it all together is the best. And the client doesn't want research, it could be that they already have their research data ready, because some clients come with their research data to you. Right? So it could be that they have the research data ready, or something of that sort. But you just have to like try to make them see reasons why they need it. And if they insist, you do your work.
Time. So, Omolola, do you have anything to say, you know, on that? And
Sorry, I did not get the question. I think it was where the network issue was starting. I don't know if it was my
okay,
network. Could you
so
try to
basically, like,
rephrase?
yeah, so basically, like when you're working with a freelancer and the freelance, you're basically freelancing on a project, and then the client doesn't have a budget for research. How do you get the client to, you know, buy into, okay, doing like research on that particular project? That's basically it.
Okay, so the thing is that you need to like let them see reason why research is quite important, right? Because most of these stakeholders, they are literally after the UI, how beautiful the UI is, right? No, it's not that. In fact, it's always good to always conduct your research, especially when you're not even familiar with the kind of problem they're trying to solve. So there's always a reason why you should let them know that, okay, let them prioritize research to UI. So always give them these reasons that, okay, you need to do this, because most, in fact, these stakeholders, they're not designers, right? So you need to let them see the reason why, okay, this is part of our skill, this is part of what we need to conduct. So if you're allowing them to see the reason behind this, trust me, they'll be interested. Because I literally deal with a particular stakeholder that, they're like, okay, I think I have the money for when my UI be ready? That is the question they asked me. Right. So it's just like, okay, in fact, like what Tassie said, that is what I usually do. I usually give them this invoice, right? Okay, this is what you'll be expecting, right? So even we letting them see all of it, because this is also part of what they should see, right? As even the business goal that, okay, we're trying to like balance more of this the user and the business goes together, right? If you're not seriously doing this, trust me, they'll be happy to even invest more in their product.
Okay, thank you so much, Omolola. Marceline Atio, I think you said you dropped your question the other time, so let's you said your question was here, and I can't find the question. Okay, guys, it says how do you manage your time when it's about work? How do you manage relationships or relations and friends? Right? Is it also necessary to have a mentor when you want to grow in design? So, just how do you manage your time when it's about work, and how do you manage relationships and friendships? Some designers they don't have any friend, just them and their laptop and Figma, their first love. How do you manage all of this?
Well, personally, I don't have friends to even manage. I mean, I don't have friends to even manage. But in the case of having a mentor, it's really recommended. I mean, yeah, I had the when I started out, I had this guy introduce me to Figma, and for only a few weeks I could send him my design or something. But then I realized he was busy. I couldn't always like run to his game and everything. And who was I going to reach out to? Mentor me, mentor me. I mean, of course, a lot of people do that, and it's going to like feel like another generic mentor medium and everything. It's recommended if you can find someone, but if you cannot, you don't dwell on it, right? Some of us, like personally, what motivated me, what kept me going is seeing people who are already where I want to be, right? I mean, the designers that there's no need to mention names, but the designers then that was like we looking at them, this guy's work looks really good. This guy, like, I was really impressed. And then you check, they're working at social company, and then you're like, oh God, when will I get like this? So I was really motivated looking at them, where they had already gotten. Like, I didn't really have someone I could say, okay, yeah, he was my mentor all through my design journey and everything. Really. So while it's necessary, while it's important, you don't have to like beat yourself and say, I don't have a mentor. I should probably relax. This design thing is not for me. You can just envision where you're working towards getting, right. Just keep improving. 2% better every day. 10%. Like, keep working on yourself. A mentor is necessary, but not like the most important factor, right? Just look at people already there. Work to you can even have someone mentor you without their consent, right? I mean, if you're like following them in the background, you're seeing the things they're doing, how they're doing it. Maybe they have a YouTube channel, maybe they have an Instagram where they share their processes and everything. Somehow, they're mentoring you, like without them having the knowledge, but you let them know that you're getting inspiration and ideas from them, right? That's also a thing because I know that now it's really hard to. I mean, the person really has to be your friend or something before you can get them to mentor you, or there has to be something. It's hard to find someone to say, okay, I will mentor you all through your design journey and everything. It's hard, right? So where you can get it, just keep working on yourself. Just keep putting in the work. Vision, I think I'm probably repeating the same thing, but I hope that answers the question, really.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacy, and for the time on this place. Uh, been really interesting. I wish I could ask you more questions, like because of time. Or maybe I'll be asking questions more in the DM. All right, Stacy, Omolola, um like your background, like where did you grow up? You grew up in Lagos or something like that, and also where can we find you? Where do you grow up? Where do you live currently? And where can we find you on your social media and stuff like that? So
Yeah, sure. So I stay at Lagos. You can always find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. But I prefer LinkedIn actually. LinkedIn or Twitter.
okay, for LinkedIn or Twitter, Casey, where did you grow up?
Okay.
And uh, what did you say, Omolola?
Yeah, so I said the same name, Fele Omolola on Twitter or LinkedIn.
Oh, consistency, same name. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So, Casey, where did you grow up? Where do you stay currently? Don't give us your house number. I know what's coming over, right? And where can we find you?
Well, I grew up in Imo State, Nigeria. Like, I've spent like all my life in Imo State, and I just like
Uh,
came to this Lagos to change environment. Yeah, peer pressure. People get pressuring me, change environment. So I just came here under peer pressure. But yeah, I've been in Imo State all my life, and that's where I grew up, my education and everything. And I'm Tasie Omah on Twitter, and I used to be Tasie Omah on LinkedIn. But yeah, I've changed it to Atasie Esther. I've changed it to my full name, Atasie Esther
Yes.
Omah.
Okay. That's nice and that's calm. So thank you so much for sharing with us on this space. We should be able to catch up sometime, in Lagos. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much guys for joining up on the call, right? It's been pretty interesting space, and I believe we've been able to learn a lot from the life and times of these two amazing designers, Omolola and Atasie Omah. So you can find them on Twitter, find them on LinkedIn, find them anywhere, or find them in Lagos. I mean, all over the street of Lagos, they might just be somewhere hiding, right? And if you see them, now you see their face, you see them, you can just say hello to them, right? When you see them in some places that, you can talk to them. So, how do you relax? Finally, like, how do you relax aside from design? Like, Omolola, how do you relax? Like, how do you, because I love design, you all work, and like, how do you take a break of design?
Okay, so what I
You know?
do outside of work is I love to watch skits a lot. It's either YouTube or Instagram. Then I also love
Eh,
to watch movies. So that's what I do
Netflix.
majorly actually. Either movies
So
or
you
skits.
do a lot of Netflix
Movies.
and chill, like Netflix and chill in
What is
somebody's house.
exactly?
Somebody's house or your home place. Okay, so fine. You watch a lot of skits. That means you like Sabino. So who's your favorite skit maker, or like who's very funny to you?
Yeah,
Just
so
too
I would
funny.
say twice. Yeah, twice
So
and Taiwan.
try to okay, and tell. Okay, great guys, great
I'm
guys.
probably
Okay,
sure.
Shank. Oh, that guy is so useless. He was always stupidly funny. Like he does crazy things and it's very stupid. But yeah, Chang is a great guy too. Casey, what about you? How do you relax aside from Figma? Or you don't even relax. That's why you don't have friends. Like so
Movies. Movies. I immerse myself in movies.
okay.
I
Yeah,
love
that's nice.
movies.
Um so movies, wow. On my research, I feel they watch movies like that too. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah, we do like a live selfie, like so like everybody can turn on your camera. I know that you guys live in Lagos, Nigeria, and there is no electricity. So what then, just turn on your cameras, even if it's just your teeth that we are seeing, right? Let's just take a live selfie, and yeah, so let's take a live selfie. Let's turn on our cameras. Almost see fine people now. What are we talking about? Almost some people still do club by this time. Oh. What's going on? You guys to return and resume work. All my guys from the UK, I see the big boys right here. Oh yeah. Okay. Turn on your cameras, guys. Now, what's going on? You want to see your pretty faces? Let me see. Once we're able to get like a very good number of guys, we will be able to take the shots. Right. So yeah, we need more. We need more faces. I read it in another way. Things like we need more heads. That's the way I read it. Okay, so can we take a selfie? One, two, go. Everybody say cheese. Say pexels.
Excel.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining up on the call. It's been really, really a nice session. Thank you for showing up, Tasie Omah and Omolola Miyashake. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the night. Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
make sure you attend stand up tomorrow early. Right, we don't want to hear that. All right, then. Bye, guys.